Hello and welcome back everyone, and about 5 years ago I made a video going over the best challengers to have never won the game. Now being in the year 2026 and with the challenge now having 41 plus seasons, I felt like this video could use an update. Now, quite a bit will be different in how I cover this topic compared to the first time, because back then I mainly went off of vibes and only named 10 players. This time around, I incorporated stats and will be going over the 10 best men and 10 best women to have never won the challenge. So that means I'll be going over 20 players plus some honorable mentions, so let's quickly go over the requirements that I did for this video and then get on with the players. The first requirement I used was looking at players that have done at least 3 seasons. I like this requirement because I think with 3 seasons, we get to see the players in a multitude of different ways, from a social game, a political game, physicality, eliminations, daily challenges. I feel like we can agree that with only 1 season sample size, it can muddy the waters. Because if you look back at like Johnny Bananas or Evelyn Smith, they were eliminated quite early on in their rookie seasons, but went on to be multi-time challenge champions and legends of the game. When looking at challengers, I counted every single season from Flagship and the spin-offs except for Champs Versus. In my spreadsheet, I honed in on 3 specific categories: daily win percentage, elimination win percentage, and the percentage chance of people making the final. If they had an above average stat in a specific category, I highlighted it. But another key metric that I looked at is opportunity. Did they have a good chance of actually winning the seasons that they were on by getting a second place finish? How close was that second place finish? And so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's jump into the actual players with the honorable mentions for the men. For the men, I have Tony, Dustin, Derek Chavez, Big Easy, and Chet as 5 honorable mentions just outside of the top 10. Now let's jump into the top 10, and at number 10 we have Leroy. Leroy was a slam dunk of a candidate when I originally made the best to never win video. But 5 years into the future, 1 retirement and unretirement later, and he's barely within the top 10. How Leroy just sneaks right into the top 10 is that he just barely under the group average for daily win and elimination win percentage. His percentage chance of making the final is rather decent, and also he has 1 second place finish. But realistically, he got second place in a final where Jay and Jenna quit, while Sarah and Jordan were never going to lose. Leroy's comeback after retirement, I think, has left a lot to be desired for the fans. He just hasn't competed up to the level we would like, and I think Leroy would say the same if he were to look at his more recent performances. We'll see what happens in the future, as I'm sure he'll be called for another season, but taking account over all of his stats and opportunity, I just couldn't put him higher than 10th. Nelson is a player that has a stellar elimination win percentage and some tough elimination losses over his career. Really what lands him in 9th just ahead of Leroy is that Nelson had 1 really close opportunity to win in season 29 when he came in second to CT by less than 2.5 minutes. If he could have performed just slightly better in a section or 2 of that final, he could have been a challenge champion. But alas, it wasn't meant to be. The rest of Nelson's career would be defined by a plethora of daily losses and a 4th place purge in season 37's final. Again, like Leroy, Nelson benefits from the honorable mentions just having worse chances of actually winning a season, while Nelson had at least 1 solid opportunity. A big what if when it comes to the challenge champion conversation is with Horacio. What if Olivia wasn't injured in that freak accident in the season 38 Ride or Dies final? Could they have both made a really solid run, a really deep run in that final to get second, possibly even win in their rookie seasons? Maybe. In his 3 seasons, Horacio showed to be a fierce competitor, having won 75% of his eliminations, including a controversial loss in season 40. He's propped up to number 8 with the idea if he continued to be on the show or was called, I think he would have made more finals, had more elimination wins, and possibly be a challenge champion eventually. Because he didn't get to finish the 1 final that he appeared in, again, not because of his fault, but because of a freak accident, I felt like he fit nicely at number 8. Kylan is another newcomer at number 7. He flaunts slightly better stats than Horacio in both daily win percentage and elimination win percentage, both having a 4th place finish, but I think if season 40 final wasn't all swimming, Kylan may have performed better than what we saw. I think he's a good all-around competitor who in future seasons could beef up his stats in many different ways. The one stat holding him back is his 4th place finish in the lone final he's seen so far. It kind of pains me to have Paulie this high up on the list, but stats are stats. Thanks to, in season 34, being a part of Team USA, His daily win percentage is fantastic. He has a decent percent chance of making the finals thanks to the Redemption House twist in Season 32, and his elimination win percentage is a bit lower than group average, but he's proven to have a solid social and political game to help stay away from that weakness in his game. Paulie has one second place finish in Season 34, can be solid in puzzles and certain physical games, as long as it's not hall brawls against Theo Campbell. To me, Fessel is a bit of an enigma for this list. His stats are actually pretty impressive, having higher averages in daily win percentage, elimination win percentage, and percentage chance of making the final. He can win physical challenges and eliminations. He can also do math. We all know what his major weakness is, and that's his stomach. The thing is, Fessel has never finished higher than 4th place in any final, greatly hindering him in the opportunity category. Fessel has always had a good social game. He's used his connections or muscles to get him far, but when it's mattered most, he's ended the season off the podium. Theo Campbell thrives in elimination, sporting an above 80% average win percentage, the best percentage of any man I researched for this video. He also has made the final 3 out of 5 seasons, giving him the highest percent chance of making the final of any man I researched. He also had a close 2nd place finish during his rookie season, losing to Turbo. What has really been a con for Theo Campbell and dropped him out of the top 3 is his more recent final performances. He's failed to finish higher than 4th in his previous 2 final appearances, while also showing some glaring weaknesses, mainly dealing with his stamina. It seems as though Theo has peaked back in his rookie season, but in all fairness, his momentum could have definitely been derailed from the accident that sidelined him for years after he suffered a terrible injury to his eye. But he's been able to come back luckily, be a great competitor in eliminations, make finals, but be unable to really come close to winning any other season. Joss to me is a competitor I could have seen being a 3-time finalist and possible challenge champion at this point. In his rookie season, he was positioned to be locked in for the long haul if it wasn't for the bad end of a coin flip taking on Derek in the famed Crazy 8 elimination. To this day, that is the one elimination loss on his challenge record. Then in season 34, he was purged due to his partner Kaylee swimming in the puzzling swim later on in the season. He does have one 2nd place finish in Final Reckoning. It kind of baffles me to think that Rogan is a challenge champion while Joss, who is better in almost every way and who showed Rogan the ropes, somehow is only a one-time finalist. I think if Josh were to come back or would have done more seasons, he would have gotten the elusive win. To be honest, Kyle surprised me as a competitor. He came onto the show tall but lanky, not the most muscular player, and he got into an early love triangle. Could have spelled bad news in his rookie season, yet somehow he finished 3rd. And truly, if it wasn't for the jockeying with Kara and Paulie, he most likely would have made more finals than just 3. But during that opposition from season 32 through season 34, Kyle was able to show off his skills in eliminations, winning 7, sporting a great elimination win percentage. He has multiple 2nd place finishes, one in Total Madness behind Jenny and Johnny. Then he and Tori actually had a chance finishing behind the winners CT and Casey by mere seconds. And finally, the number 1 best to never win on the men's side is Corey Wharton. Corey is one of only 3 players on this list who has an above average of the group of men in the daily win percentage, elimination win percentage, and percentage chance of making the final. He's also the only man in this group who has the most 2nd place finishes at 3 from Battle of the Bloodlines, Double Agents, and USA 2. He's impressive when it comes to his eliminations, with his elimination win percentage near 70%. Many will say that Corey has a major flaw in his game, which is his puzzle skills, which I agree with. But everyone in this list has their flaws, hence why they haven't won yet. To me, if Corey can just nail down a few of these tanagrams and Sudoku, he would be a major contender in any season that he would play in the future to get that win. I wholeheartedly believe that. Alright, let's move on to the women, starting with the honorable mentions. I have Tina, Anissa, Sylvia, Kayla, and Devon. Now I went back and forth with Anissa on whether she should have a spot in the 10 best to never win, but ultimately, I couldn't find a spot for her. Anissa definitely deserves her respect of her contributions throughout the years, but given who made the top 10, I just couldn't see putting her in the top 10 of best to never win. Also, one thing before we get into the top 10, for anyone wondering, Teresa didn't make the list at all. She won only 10 daily challenges in 7 seasons, won 2 eliminations in 9 total appearances, and made one final because Nia disqualified herself. She did almost make the free agents final, but came up short against Laurel. If she had better stats and had better opportunity to make finals, I would have considered her, but it's a no-go. But with that being said, let's jump in, starting at number 10. Nicole has incredible stats. She has never lost an elimination. There was only one season she didn't make the final, and because she was medically disqualified for dislocating her shoulder, the main reason she finds herself at number 10 is because she's never been really close to winning the game. She's had plenty of final appearances to prove herself to finish even once in second, but hasn't. Her best finish is third in her rookie season, season 29, and the rest of the time she's finished in 4th and 5th place. Robin in her 9 seasons has seen 3 finals resulting in 3 second place finishes. She also has a really strong daily win percentage. Both stats are pretty padded, mainly from earlier seasons. She had a potent social game, but when she did find herself in eliminations, the pressure proved to be a glaring weakness. Still, she was a staple on the show for seasons and proved to be a formidable player with solid statistics. Kellyanne is someone else who has done 9 seasons and, like Robin, has been to 3 finals. I've appreciated Kellyanne over her challenge career with her fighting tooth and nail to get as far as she has in every season she's done. More times than not, she's been an underdog. However, when it comes to her opportunities to win a season, she's come up short, getting 2nd place against the champs in the Ruins. Her next chance came finishing 3rd in a close race in All-Stars just behind John A., then losing a mid-final elimination and slightly below group average in elimination win percentage makes Kellyanne 8th. Jenna is known as Barbie Beast. She started off her challenge career with 3 consecutive final appearances and being 5-0 in eliminations. But from Dirty 30 on, she'd go 1-3 in eliminations, not having seen another final. Despite the second half of her challenge career not matching up to her beginning, Jenna has great stats, and really her Total Madness experience was ripped from her because Zach back home was freaking out over text messages he found from years ago. I truly believe Jenna could have at least had one more final appearance, although if she faced off against Jenny, I don't think she would have won. What prevented her from being higher on this list is her opportunities. Battle of the Exes 2 and Battle of the Bloodlines weren't really doable to get any place higher than 3rd, while her and Vince got 2nd in Rivals 3, but that was pretty much the cap they could have gotten going up against the Banana Sarah duo. Nerese, I believe, is one of the best all-around competitors. She is quick, has incredible stamina, can be physical, and is an ace at puzzles. If she has any minor flaw in her game, it's her size, to where if she faced off against, say, Olivia in a hall brawl, it wouldn't end well for her. She proved in Battle for a New Champion that she has what it takes to win eliminations, along with putting together a great final run where she could have legitimately won if there were 2 winners, or if she performed slightly better at certain checkpoints. It saddens me that her criticism of production seems to have barred her from more seasons on the show, because I truly feel she could win if given more chances. Michaela has had quite the turnaround on the challenge from her early exit in season 37. She went from first boot to 2-time finalist in no time. Since her first elimination loss, she has won 3 eliminations in a row, made 2 finals, and has showed off her political and social prowess. Given her limited opportunities as well as finishing 3rd twice, I would half expect some are surprised either about Nany being this high or this low. I know Nany has gotten the reputation lately of people tired of debating whether she can actually win the show or not, but really I want to talk about her stats in that she is above the group average in the 3 categories, along with having 2 second place finishes in Free Agents and Ride or Dies. Both actually were very close opportunities in my opinion that she could have actually won the show. When taking all of that into account, she lands at number 4 of Best to Never Win. Will she win the challenge? I mean, I think she has a great social game to where she could get more opportunities to make the final, but when it comes down to it, I think it's going to come down to a really good pair or team performance to get that elusive challenge win that she's been wanting for oh so long. Number 3 is DM Brown, who has an incredible daily win percentage and comes in slightly below average of percent chance of final. She also does not have a good elimination win percentage, having only won 1 elimination in her challenge career, but when you take a look at really DM's contributions to the game and her opportunity to possibly have won a season in the past, DM lands herself smack dab in the top 3 because she has 2 second place finishes, One was Season 15 Gauntlet 3, then she had another great opportunity to win Season 22 Battle of the X's with CT. They were actually in first 90% of that final. It was that last mountain climb that CT gassed out, opening the door for Johnny and Camilla to pass them and get the win. To me, I think it's undeniable that DM will always be in the conversation to best to never win. At number 2, I have Jen G. She has the above group daily challenge win percentage, above group elimination win percentage, and has made 4 finals in 6 challenge appearances, rocking a 66.67% chance of making the final. She also has a 2nd place finish, 2 3rd place finishes, and a 4th place finish. Jen was small but mighty in her challenge career. She is someone that had a fantastic social game, but her elimination record proves that she was able to back it up more times than not, being able to win 5 of 8 eliminations. And finally, the number 1 best to never win on the women's side is Cam Williams. With an above group average daily win percentage, an 80% elimination win percentage, and having an above group average of percent chance of making the final. Cam has proven to be one of the smartest, most political, physically tough, best all-around competitors the show has ever seen, and it's quite shocking to me looking back over her challenge career that we're in the year 2026 that she isn't a challenge champion yet. What do you think about my list of the 10 best men and women to have never won the challenge? Do you agree with my list and rankings? Do you disagree with my list and rankings? Whether you agree or disagree, leave me a comment down in the comment section below. I want to hear what you have to say and any criticism that you have for the list. Now I want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really soon with more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.